first international motor race meeting at Cadwell Park. Formula 3 drivers from 14 different countries have been arriving all morning for this premier event in the motor racing calendar. Much interest was shown in the brand new March and its Swedish driver, Peterson. And in the paddock office, competitors were greeted by club stalwarts, and the event had attracted some of the best teams of cars and drivers in the world. But then it was time for practice, as Bill Brown gave the signal to go, and Constable Jim Fleming on point duty said stop. The drivers wondered what was in the air, but as they reached the mountain, they found the answer. Few of the drivers had seen the circuit before, and a full hour's practice on the Saturday gave everyone a chance to learn this mini Nürburgring before official timing began on the Sunday. Looking like moon men, Peterson and Schenken discussed tactics. The Cadwell track really suits Formula 3 cars, and drivers were finding the limit by spinning off all over the place. And everybody spun at the mountain at least once. But the tension is mounting as 22 of the world's fastest Formula 3 drivers arrive on the packed grid. On the front row was Tim Schenken, René Wiesel and Howden Ganley. As the seconds tick away, let's listen to the thoughts of the drivers as they wait for the flag.
I think the main opposition comes from many people. It's a little fast second.
You're just concentrating on the starter and the rev counter.
Just 125% luck and we have it.
I think, I will miss once more the start.
Tim Schenken had made the best start, and as they roared up Coppice and into Charlie's, it was Schenken, Wiesel, Hunt, Buechler, Lucas, Peterson, Ganley, Mazet, Jassot and Williams. At the mountain, the order was still the same, and nobody was taking any chances yet in this 25-lap final. Leave barn corner with one lap completed, it's still Schenken, Wiesel, brilliant newcomer James Hunt and the pack. The old lap record of 1 minute 39.6, 81 miles an hour, had been shattered time and again in practice and the heats, and had even been broken on the standing lap of the final. It was eventually to drop no less than 6 seconds to 1 minute 33.2, nearly 87 miles an hour, and shared by Schenken, Wiesel and Hunt. The favourite passing manoeuvre was to slipstream down the straight, dive out under Demon late braking. Doing just this on lap 3, Rainer Wiesel took Tim Schenken for the lead. Big L. Lucas, James Hunt and Howden Ganley, who after a shocking start had recovered well to 5th place ahead of Ronnie Peterson in the mark. Wiesel was trying his utmost to pull away, but without success, for Schenken and Lucas were with him at every move. On the next lap, Schenken was pushed down to 3rd, as Big L made his bit at the end of the straight. But it was not to last, as Lucas had cooked his engine and Schenken was again in 2nd spot and challenging for the lead. Meanwhile, Howden Ganley had been pulling up well, and with Big L's retirement, the New Zealander was up to 3rd place. James Hunt was staggering everyone by keeping up and regularly passing Peterson, and the new March was certainly not hanging about. By lap 13, all Wiesel's advantage had been whittled away, and the flying Australian went back into the lead, and Peterson, ignoring his lack of clutch, again passed Hunt into 4th place for the umpteenth time. It was getting terribly slippery at the mountain, where constant clipping of the apex had thrown dirt onto the road, and Graham Goodman's Techno was one of many to spin out of the race at this point. There was nothing between the leading pair, and 2 of the 3 kings of Formula 3 were passing the lead backwards and forwards between themselves, while the 3rd was still in battle with Hunt for 4th place. Rainer led them into the mountain for the 21st time, failed to find 2nd gear, and spun his hard-earned lead away. Schenken and Ganley rushed by, and Wiesel resumed a furious 5th. At last it looked as though Schenken had it in the bag, but Ganley was still proving an unprecedented threat. With only a couple of laps to go, Wiesel had caught the Peterson-Hunt battle, but couldn't squeeze past either of them, and Hunt was finding the battle a little too hectic, and took to the grass at Mansfield on the penultimate lap. Wiesel had another go at Mountain, but Hunt firmly shut. On the final lap, there were no dramatics from Ganley, and the brand new Brabham ran to a first-time win by 0.4 of a second from the chevron. 16 seconds behind, Peterson had passed Hunt to take 3rd. One of the classic Formula 3 races of the year had proved to be a huge success, particularly with Tim Schenken, who thoroughly deserved his fine win.